Yeah, because I think even with your example, it comes to this quote that I finally found. I think that we could say that as artists, we become a character of some sort of what we put out.
Yeah.
Our art, because whether we like it or not, Donatello has become a complete character. He was in the Stone Ages, like I mean, not
Yeah.
literally, but still.
Yeah.
And we are talking about him right now. He was a character because we don't know him as a human being. But when you take that time to stop looking at yourself as a character and stopping your art from you being a character, and you make it into something that is what draws people because it's not
Yeah.
flanderizing your art.
Yeah.
One example of this with me is when I started off with WTIH Studios, and you can look at my original videos. I was like, okay, this is going to be all about
Yeah.
motivation, inspiration. And then my friend Gracie, shout out to Gracie, we weren't even talking about the studio. And she said to me, "You're a funny guy, you know. You make yeah, I like it when you make sure." So I was like, okay. And I was like, you know what? What if I didn't make WTIH just about motivation, inspiration?
Yeah.
What if I maybe put a funny video once a week? And so I put it on the
Yeah.
story and I said, vote whether or not you would want me to do a funny video a week or a poem a week. And they were like, hey, listen, we've heard you write to the cows come home. Can we hear a funny video? So I started doing a funny video. And then I was on my phone. I was like, wait, this guy does vlogs. I like doing, let me do a vlog. So I did a vlog.
Yeah.
And now, and then I said, well, what if, even though I separate basketball and writing for me, what if I post my basketball stuff
Yeah.
on the WTIH page?
Yeah.
And then I go to Mrs. Angela's class at Sparrows Academy. Shout out to them again. And I go there, and they're not asking me a single question about writing. They're asking me about a vlog I did, and they're asking me about who was the basketball team I beat this year.
Wow.
And I'm like, so you guys are reading my artwork because of me opening up and just
Yeah.
showing all the parts of me, because even on this podcast right here we had silly callers come in, we had philosophy talked about
Yeah.
because we expanded it and we were
Yeah.
humans for a second instead of flanderizing this
Yeah.
and making it this is a podcast about art and
Yeah.
only art, and
Yeah.
Nerdfire will
Right.
discuss artwork.
Yeah, and you are exactly right when you say that, because the thing about flanderization is it's not an expansion, it's a redaction. It's a redaction of oneself. You take the possibilities and you consolidate them down into a singular point of what it means to be me, which is not true, which is not human. Humans are so much more than one aspect. Drake is, as a human being, is so much more than just making club songs. He's a human
Yeah,
being. And it's easy, and when people flanderize themselves, it's really easy to look at them as that caricature of themselves versus looking at them as a human being, because they make it available to look at them as a one-dimensional person, a flanderization. And it's really hard. And it's hard to look at Drake and say, oh, you're a human. It actually is difficult because we don't view him as it. We view him as a
yeah,
guy who makes dumb club songs and who got accused of some inappropriate stuff and got in a beef with Kendrick. And he's a
yeah,
flanderization rather than
yeah,
being a human
yeah,
being. Yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna read my quote
it's
here
all good. Yeah.
because I feel like this would be good for us to close out. We're closing out. Wait,
Yeah.
one second there. Oh, we have another
We have
call
one more
coming in.
call coming in.
All right,
Jake,
let's
Jake,
let
be
me
prepared to be
Jake,
fired,
let
Jake.
me read my quote first. My
Okay.
quote for the people out there
Yeah.
was, seek tranquility because I know happiness is a moment,
That's good. Yeah.
just a moment. So
Yeah.
don't seek this moment that you flanderize and you turn into seven
Yeah.
seasons.
Exit,
Don't seek the
dude.
moment.
Dude, that's so good.
Just let the
Yeah.
moments happen.
Yeah.
Because if we don't when you flanderize your art,
Yeah.
you stunt your art's growth.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
And it's
You
not,
guys,
it's all good. We get to the caller. Jake, hold on one second. And it's all, and it's interesting. Like that's such a great point you just made that I want everyone to pay attention to who's listening or watching, because that's not just for your art. That's for yourself as well. When you search for that, for instance, this I feel like is the most universal truth. Anyone looking for love flanderizes love. when you're looking for a wife or a husband, girlfriend, or a boyfriend, you flanderize what that means. You look at, for instance, drawing from my own personal experiences, I've never really had a official girlfriend, but I had something kind of close to ish, I guess. But I flanderized it. I was thinking, oh, in the next 10 years are going to be like this. And the next, what we're going to do next week. And it's like, no, you can't decide what's going to happen. You can't decide when the happiness is there and when the sadness is there, because it ended really sad.
And
So
you
yeah,
take that moment and you make that expansion of it, but
yeah, it's not
and
truthful.
it's not there. And that's with
Yeah,
relationships. Like
yeah,
I get that too. And sometimes you have
yeah,
to understand that the growth is only going to come from you allowing the growth to happen.
yeah. And a big thing is it's the difference between the truth and the non-truth. The truth is we as humans need to grow to do better. We as humans need to accept these things, but we'd rather live in a non-truth, which is what we've always lived in.